Hey kids, Mark Miller here. Welcome to the show. We're going to be writing some code in C# and TypeScript today. We're basically going to be round tripping, what I'm calling round tripping the cards. So this is like one of this kind of crazy, connected sets of where I've got code in all over the place, just all kinds of ways, talking to each other, and we're kind of completing a lot of different pieces and getting them all together and making the cards actually work. Here's what I'm looking at right now. So, and we're also going to be just tweaking UI just a little bit, but right now I've got the ability to come on here out on here on streamloots.com. Specify some details here for a card, play the card. Right now, when we play the card, if it's an immediate card that plays immediately, it just immediately kind of goes into that. But what I want it to do is I want it to kind of dial itself in, kind of spin itself into position and then play. That's kind of what I'm looking for there. So that's what I want to work on. We'll get that going first. And I'm over here in some TypeScript. We're calling play card now. And that basically just comes in and calls the play card animation. That's kind of what's happening. What I want to do, actually I want to do a little bit of research for a second here. Get big card center. I want to look and see. Yeah, it does this right here. So what's interesting is if we've got a card that is not attached to a player, so we first check to see is the target, we've got if there's a recipient for it. If there's not, then we see if there's a target. And if there's not a target for it, we get down to here, which calls get new big card just played position. And what it does, Legendary Moo's here. How you doing, Legendary Moo? Why did we not see your fanfare? Now I'm like, what? Did I break something? What's up and running? Why don't we have this fanfare? Does the administrator knows about have a command that brings up the full URL for that site? If you're talking about which site, if you're talking about, I think I've got a GitHub command in here that does our projects. Streamloots, no, but I'll paste that in for you so you can see it. Now I should tell you that what you're seeing here is not what you would be able to see when you go there. Here, I'll show you. That's where it is right there. If we were to open that up into a something like this is what you would end up seeing right here. So you see something like this, and it's looking for you to log in, that sort of thing. Been waiting for a long time, just buried with work since COVID stuff started. I need to find out what's going on. Why did we lose control? I have music control, right? I've got drone control, right? Why is it Legendary Moo is not playing? I'm going to just trigger you here manually. Because, it's been a while. Go, little guy! Go! Look out! Look out! Go, go, go! You made it! Oh, you didn't make it. Here we go. Yeah, I'm a little bit distraught about that. I'm feeling it's not just because you haven't been here a while. I think there's something else going on. So, at any rate, there's Streamloots. So Streamloots, I've got these decks out here. Don't buy any of these right now. These are just, for testing right now at this point. So when I, you asked for the link, I give you the link, but don't buy them. Because we won't be able to fulfill them. Also, this is for the other channel, not for the CodeRush one. So you'll probably be wasting your money if you do that. However, I am using them for testing. And so I'm just bringing up one of these cards here, and like, for example, dance party. So dance party, I think the same thing. It'll kick off a dance party, but it's just like wow, 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 wow. All right. There's several things that are happening. We're talking about round tripping. One of the things that's happening is we've also got there's a chat message sent to the dungeon master when this happens. So the dungeon master will be informed of the redemption of a card, that sort of thing. Right now, I just want to work on this play animation. I want the card to deal in and then be played automatically. So instead of just being played. Legendary Moose says, that's amazing. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting to a place, you know, I feel like the pieces, I can see the distance between the pieces and then the tenuous little lines of things that I have to do between, you know, these points. And we're about to just pull them together. That's what I think we're about to do. And I think, by the way, that pulling together may take up to about maybe 2 weeks, I think, to have everything kind of working. But let me show you something else that's kind of cool. That's kind of partway working now that I like a lot. Is over here in my collections. It's just really slow. What's happening here? Are you waiting on it? Did I just not click it? I think I didn't click it. The test cantrip deck. So I can come in here, and this is also kind of cool. I can give the card to me. Let's play it. These are all immediate cast pieces here. We'll go and give me another card right like this. And so you can see that these are my cards that are being dealt in. And here's Cast Acid Splash. So here's a card where a viewer can cast a spell and target somebody else. So the viewer can like target me or maybe Fred, for example, and play the card, and then what happens is the card gets played above Fred's head, and there's the dice. The die get rolled in with the data, with the damage, I mean, and all of that happens as a result of the play card, and then Fred takes 2 damage. You can see his hit points are dropped down by 2. I'm just going to give Fred 2 more health back there, so he's good. Feeling better, I think. And so anyway, that's kind of what's cool, right? And to do this, to make this work, in part, it's done with this bit right here, where we say, hey, let's roll die. We're going to roll 1d6 acid, but let's, you know, I could change this to say, let's do 3d12 and make it force damage instead. Like this. And I could say, hey, your saving throw, instead of being dexterity, can be, you know, a strength saving throw, for example. And you'd see different bonuses that would come in. And so if we save that and we come in and do test on this, we target me on that, we should see 3 d12s coming in for the force damage, along with my my d20 my d20 saving throw, and then the damage applied. Meanwhile, with the cards that are above my head here, I can, you know, hide those away, bring them out later, select one when I'm ready to cast the spell Acid Splash or do whatever the card does, and then hit play. So it's really, the mechanics of this are looking pretty cool, I think, in terms of being able to turn a game that's normally not a spectator game where spectators are you know, involved, and actually turn it into like a game that like hundreds of people can kind of play, a tabletop game where hundreds of people can be participating. That's what my goal is in this. So that's kind of where we're going to. Okay, so back over, enough of that. Let's go back to, let's get that other test card. If I undo this right here so I don't go crazy. This is acid damage, 1d6, and it was a dexterity saving throw, I think. Yeah, you're trying to look out for it, right? We're going to succeed on dexterity saving throw. That's it right there. Do one quick test of that. See if we're back to normal. 1d6. There it is. Cool. I also like the speed at which this thing goes down. It wraps itself up pretty quickly. So we can handle, the other thing we added that's very cool is I can play several of these in a row. And over here on the right, you can see what's happening is we've got the queue of the rolls are coming up right there. And we're just rolling them down. So we're able to handle, the UI is able to handle multiple simultaneous queuing of things to do. Similarly, there's something else. I'm not sure if I can demonstrate it here. Can I demonstrate it? I think I got to demonstrate it over in the default collection here. And I don't have, I need something that doesn't have any fields. Everything so far has got a field. Dance party, wait, dance party doesn't have a field. Does it? Okay. Except it's got a 15-minute cooldown, but I think, let's see if I think I can trigger a bunch of these. I just want to trigger a bunch of these, show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, they're all going immediately. All right. So those kind of maybe need to queue up. This is probably a bad one to test it with. Okay. All right, so we are going to go in, get new big card just played position. What it's doing here is it's this line of code here is hold on, let me close the scroll so you can see it. This line of code right there is going down to a certain number of cards deep. Let me pin this up here too, so it's kind of sticking out. So we're basically exploring several levels of depth, and then within that, we're looking at different card positions: center, left, center, right, left, and then a little further out and a little further out. And we're checking to see, are there any other cards there? And we're counting those up is what we are. And if we basically get to a point where we say, hey, this location has the fewest cards, then we let it out there. And what that allows us to do is stack a whole bunch. And I was able to demonstrate this before, but unfortunately we're going right to the play immediately. So that's, we got to kind of, make that whole thing work. That's kind of what we're going to probably do right now. So play card now. We want to, instead of going play card now, let's just drop a marker in here. We want to do something else. There was a method we created a while back. Show card. And show card actually kind of deals it out. It creates a number of degrees it wants to spin. It got this kind of target spin location, random between 3 degrees to the left or 3 degrees to the right. And that's just its final position. So it doesn't look always perfect every time. So this, I actually want to rename this right now, show card. I want to name this to deal card is what I want to do. Deal card, like that. And I want to also take some of the pieces in here that determine how long it'll take and take them out and make them constants. So this is the expiration date right here. And so this is its lifespan, I guess is what I would say. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create something that says dealt card lifespan right there. And now I want to bring in card manager dot dealt card lifespan there. Okay, I'm going to drop that. I'm going to drop the marker there. Actually, let's go back down here. I'm just going to paste this in. We're just going to kind of collect the pieces we're going to need here. So that's one of them. Is that all of them? I'm wondering. That might be all of them. Okay, so what we need to do down here is we need to say something to the effect of this dot deal card We need also, this get big card center, this is going to change once we put a card there, because it's checking where all the cards are. So we kind of need to save the X and Y, is what we need to do. That X and Y, this big card center is in, I'm going to call deal card here a second, jump into it. It's right here, X and Y. And let's see where it's set. It's in the ease of it. The sprite's ease its final target position. So what happens is we say, hey, look, when we ease in, we're going to move from a random location here in the X between negative 500 over there and 1920 over here. And we're going to come in, but we're going to always come in from the bottom. So that's where we're coming in from. And then we're going to move to that X position that we're setting it to. And that ease is going to last whatever the entry time is, which in this case is 1500. But I think as long as I set a timer for the credit, whoops. I used the wrong one here. Oh no, that's credit lifespan. That's the credit lifespan, Delta card. This is what I was using right there. So if I just set a timer for that, then I can call deal card first, and then later I can call this and grab the X and Y and the card position. I need to save X and Y, and I need card image name is coming from card. Where else am I using card? The username, the fill color, the outline color. Yeah. So I need to store the card and the X and Y position is what I need to store. All right, so I think first step is to go into deal card. What is it going to take? Its parameters. It takes the card, the character ID. In this case, play card now doesn't have a character ID. So I'm throwing in num.minValue. And that's all I need to put in there. So that'll do the deal card now. Then I want to do a set timeout. And my handler is going to be, let me go look at an example code for this. What's going on with my reveal step 2? It just takes the data that I pass in right there. Sweet. Do I have multiple parameters? It looks like I got multiple arguments. Sweet. Okay, cool. So we're going to say this dot timeout, this dot play card after timeout. Dot bind this, and the timeout is going to be that. Maybe not this. It's actually going to be this minus something here. The minus is going to be this fade out time right here. So I want to come in here and call this delt card fade out milliseconds. And that was 1,000. So there we go. So now that's the timeout right there. And then I want to add the arguments. I'm going to add X position, Y position, and card. And let's go declare this. I wonder if I can declare it right now. Let's declare it as a property. I'll just declare it as a function. X, Y, and then card, which is a Streamloots card coming into it. Maybe not, actually. We'll pass in the card, but instead of these two, I think I'm going to pass in the sprite instead. Tony Girl says, in my opinion, it's easier to read it as this. Let's go do that. Give me a second to catch up here. Like this. So this would not have occurred to me to do this. Yeah, something like that. Card. And then we need the sprite. We need the card and the sprite. So I'm going to have deal card return that sprite. Oops, maybe not there. Maybe here. How am I doing on this? Okay, not bad. What's wrong here? Is it in red? Probably because it doesn't actually return one yet. Yeah. Okay, let's go fix deal card to return the sprite proxy. And there's the sprite. Mismatched parens is Legendary Moo's asking. I think I got them cleaned up. I think we're okay. Yeah, so let's look at that. I think I totally agree with you, Coding Gorilla. I really appreciate the suggestion on that. Yeah, I'm still getting my head wrapped around these Lambda functions here. And so any guidance in that direction is definitely helpful. All right, so I've got this play big card after timeout. Now I should be able to come in here. And now instead of calling get card big center to get X and Y, I'm going to do this. It's equal to sprite, and I should be able to say X there. I should be able to say Y there. I think that's correct. I might have to adjust by the offset, for the anchor offset for the card. I'm not sure. I'm going to just see what, if we see the card suddenly jump, then I'll offset it and get it back in position here. There's that. The card image name is there. And then we've got play card with X and Y. All right, let's refresh it and see how that looks. Now let's go here. So I'm doing dance party because we don't need to inundate us with a whole bunch of dances. Let's come in here and do this, play the card. There it is. And do we play? We don't get to play. Oh, there we do. And the play is off. So we need to come in here and do plus this dot known cards dot origin X. And that one is origin Y. Let's try refreshing that and see if that's a little bit better. Okay. It's not bad. We might want to change this up. And we might want to say, now that we get it back from deal card, we might want to say, hey, look, you know what? Let's change this. Let's set your fade out time. Set that equal to 250. Like that. Maybe even like 100, actually. Let's make it 100. And maybe we set the expiration sprite.expiration date is equal to now plus, I'm going to use a local constant here, I think, instead. And then we're going to say play now pause time? I don't know. Pause time before. Surly Dev is out there. Surly, we don't have fanfares working this morning, and I don't know why. Everything else seems to be working. I'm gonna have to like restart here since we got that. Let me just catch up on the fanfares. Let me go to manually. By the way, I started working this morning on party number 4. It's got grill in it. It's got pudding in it. It's gonna happen. Play now time. Yeah, woot, woot, woot. Yeah, I think it'll be good. And I'm just scrolling up here and clicking on Surly Dev manually. There's Surly! Surly Dev is in the house. He's in the house. Kids, let me know if I miss a fanfare here. That's if I do that, if I type in Mark. So I've lost. Interesting, and I don't have any control of Fred either. So I have drone control, but nothing else. Really bizarre how this, like I said, I just don't know what happened. Play now time, play now pause time before, or dealt card pause time before play. And so now we can come in here and say maybe 3,000 like that. That's what I'm going to use down here for the timeout. Change its sprite fade out time. Let's see how that looks. We may have to just really crank this down to, I'm almost thinking let's make it 50 milliseconds right now. I want to make it just right. So I don't want it to look like it disappears before it gets the delta animation. Because of the timing and all of this, I want to maybe do this actually. Let me do another refresh of that. Here we go. Watch it. No card at all? What'd I do wrong, kids? Oh. Somehow I didn't finish that line of code, it looks like. And that could make a big difference. I want to see Rory fanfare before party 4. Oh, man. I don't know if I can deliver that. All right, here we go. Watch it. Like a little bit of a jump there from its position to the once the animation started, but it's kind of viable. Now I don't need a fanfare. Says Rory. Let's look at it one more time here. Let me see if I can get a couple of these, crank them out really fast here. It should show up in different places. Yeah, there we go. Good. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. All right. Let's go check our spec list and see how we're doing here. Card to stay up longer. Highlighting some way to indicate we're waiting for die roll to finish the play. That's working, by the way, kids. If you haven't seen that, that's can be seen in this card right here. Ooh, oh no. I had 2 cards deal up. Did I just introduce that problem? I did. I did. How did I introduce that problem? I must be calling play card now. Whereas before I was expecting it to not do anything, now it's definitely doing something. I think that's what was going on. Let's go find play card now, up here. Yeah, I think the problem is on this line of code right here. Before, play card now did absolutely nothing. That's my take on it. I'm going to close down the app. Let's figure out what to do here. I am thinking the command will be play card with target. So I kind of think this might fix it. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm basically sending down a command that doesn't need to do anything because there's something following up right afterwards, I think. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So there's the highlight right there. That's what we were talking about. That highlight happening right there. So that's the piece I'm talking about when I say, hey, card to stay up longer. Yeah, highlight in some way to indicate that we're waiting on a die roll to finish the play. So now while the die is rolled, this is the cool thing about this. While the die is rolling, the card stays up and waits for the die roll to stop. And it just has that animation there. And then the play, once we get the data back. Dice stop rolling, we have the data. Now we can go do something, and you can see it's been dropping my hit points here every time. In fact, if you watch it, you'll probably see an animation, a blood animation that hits once the damage is calculated. There you go, a little bit of blood coming up right there. Okay, let's go back to the list here. So this one is done right here. When the die roll stops, that's when we play the card. That one's done. So we show the results of the roll. Now this one's not entirely done. What we're doing on the die roller level is we're showing that we're showing whether the save was a nat 1, meaning it's a complete failure, or a nat 20, meaning it's a complete success, no damage. Or if it is, which by the way is a homegrown rule that we have. So if you roll a saving throw and you get a nat 1, you get double damage. And if you get a nat 20, hold on just a second, kids. Got a call from my wife coming in here. All right, just checking in, and everything's good. Okay, so we're just showing, down below, is it a failure, is it a success, or is it a is it a complete failure or a complete success? So you have these options of generally double damage, no damage, half damage, or full damage. But I'm not actually calculating the numbers correctly. Right now, we're just taking whatever the die roll is and subtracting it. We need to get to that next level here to determine that. That's part of the round tripping. So I want to write this code today. I think we'll work on that next. The target saving throw modifier, we need to show that we are actually showing that. I'll show you that. So my saving throw modifier, I think, is a +2 on a dexterity check. And you should see a +2. Notice next to the red die, the number 4. Oh no, it's actually the purple one. 17 +2 save. So I got a 17, including my +2. So I rolled a 15, and then my +2 is there. You'll notice in the chat room it says the saving throw holding at a 15, so we need to fix that. Let's kind of talk about that round tripping right now for saving throws. So we can work on that. Round tripping for saving throws. The DM post excludes the modifier. e.g. shows only the D20 total, not the bonus, modifier bonus. Okay. So instead of and I've decided that this is the most compact format to show it. So I show the total here, and I include the modifier in paren so you can see what that is. So it might be something like that. Okay, so that's one of the issues we need to do. We need to apply damage accordingly, right? So that means we have double for a nat 1, 0 for a nat 20, and normal for a failed, and half damage for a save. Although some spells, we need to kind of asterisk this, although some spells essentially yield 0 damage on a save, or 0 damage / effects. So we need to deal with that. Okay. The dance party, by the way, what's cool about this, whoops, we'll get the dance party out. All we're doing here is we're just putting a comment and then the bang symbol indicating we are going to now execute some code, some scripted code, and then we put the scripted code here. So that's what's going on there. So we can this is invoked essentially immediately. It's kind of like a quick way to get an event and to pass data in. Because if I wanted to pass if I wanted to instead ask, here, I'll show you what I mean. Let's add a field here. And let's call this scene name, like that, and call this scene name. Can I do an uppercase? I can't. That's too bad. All right. So it's required. Click OK. And now, instead of saying play scene DH party 3, we're going to pass in the redemption field scene name right there. But we're going to stick it in right inside there, like that. And so now it'll play that scene, whatever scene I specify. So now the test looks like this. So now I can choose a scene name, like for example, Mr. Smoofy, like that. I hit play card. We should see Mr. Smoofy play. So that's kind of what I mean by passing parameters. It allows us to do that. So that's kind of cool. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. DH.party. And when I put this 3 in brackets at the end, it will select one of those randomly. Okay. Okay, anything else? That one's done down there at the bottom. And this one's done. So essentially everything on this page is done. With the exception of this part right here, which we've got on the second page. We've got details of that on the second page. Let's go ahead and delete maybe all of these and just put a big fat green checkbox on the page. Okay. So let's work on this. That's going to be in C#. Should be. Right over here, with 2 events. The card commands viewer die roll starts and viewer die roll complete. I think we might have a logical problem here. My concerns. We might have an issue. And it has to do with this. So if it has a target, I call this which does nothing. But the only reason that worked on the other ones, I'm pretty sure, is because when the roll started, we called rolling dice for card, which deals it. Calls deal card. Passing in false is the parameter, so it stays a little bit, you know, it stays highlighted because we're waiting for it. So rolling dice for card, the thing about rolling dice for card is it really the fix, and I kind of hate doing this, but it's like I know there's a problem now and I know how to fix it. The fix is to check to see if we're going to roll dice. And if we're going to roll dice, then we're going to do this, which essentially does nothing, because if I have a target, it's already going to, sorry, hold on a second. Yeah, if has target and rolling dice soon. We need to roll dice on this card, something like that. Need to roll dice like that. Let's close down the app so we can write some code without all the squiggly underlines. And then this is going to be return, what is it? I think it's alert message. Is it card.alert? Image name, data. Is it message? Yeah, it's message. So it's card to message dot contains like that. So if we need to roll dice, oh no, I'm down low and I need to know about something up above. All right. Okay, let's take you, put you down into card DTO. The roll dice command is kind of like a special case command that we need to accommodate here. Roll die command. Well, I've already got it starting with CMD. I guess I'm okay with that. Okay. All right. So now I wanted to. So if it contains that roll die command, I'm just going to do that. So if we need to roll dice and we've got a target, then we're going to do nothing because the roll dice is going to invoke, it's going to invoke this call right here, and which is going to then deal it out. It's going to deal it out automatically because we're setting the command to rolling dice for card. Okay. And then otherwise, if it doesn't have a target, doesn't have an owner, we're going to play the card right now. Otherwise, we're going to call show card. So that's for the example that has a target and doesn't need to roll dice. But almost always, I actually think that this is going to be true almost always. If has target is true, if the card has got a target, that means we pretty much need to roll the dice, I think. Unless we're going to just flat out start taking points or adding points away. Adding points too. Yeah, it's almost always a roll dice. Okay. And then die roll for card is finished. Here's where we're applying damage, right here. Interesting, we've got a dictionary keyed by damage type and integers. Then we go through we get the targeted creature. Oh no. No support for multiple targets. Let's check that. let me get rid of this because I think we just fixed that issue. I'm going to add up your support for multiple targets. All right. You know, I'm going to try and restart. Let's close that down. Restart this so we can get control of the scene playing from Mr. Announcer Bot. Try running from here as well. Do I want to refactor this now? No, I think I can refactor it after we start.
Hey, Mark.
Looks like we're back in control again. Let me stop and restart the game a second, because that's going to need to be reset after we do this, and get some music going again. Okay. Here's the app. Step through this to get to know this code a little better. Here's the one with the saving throw and the damage throw. Oh, I need to refresh back down over here too. Waiting on the scroll bars to disappear. There they go. Here's the breakpoint. All right. So target creature should be me. Yeah, my character's name is Merkin. Calculate damage by type, individual rolls, damage. And so now it's got acid at 4. And we can confirm that. Seeing on the die roll there, we've got a 4 coming up there on it. So there's the total damage. All in-game creatures get by creature. We're looking to find the creature here. Looks like I've got a couple timers going off there. Creature's null, so there's no in-game creature with my name. Now we're adding up all the damage. Why do we want to know total damage? Why would that matter to anybody? Who cares about that? Just to see if there's any damage at all. I see. Got it. Okay. And I've got a target creature. How did I get my target creature here? Oh, got to get creature by ID. It's up there. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Ladamio's following. Thanks for the follow, Ladamio. Who's that? Giving us a call.
Hello.
Roy, people really want you to have a fanfare, my friend.
No. Why would I need one of those?
Putting pressure on me, my friend. They're putting pressure on me.
Hard.
Surly's like, I don't want to see a Dance Party 4, Mark. I want to see a Rory fanfare before I see Dance Party 4.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of the dance parties.
Is in the house.
Demand a fanfare. Demands it. I can't say no to that. We're pretty much done with the conversation if he demands it. All right. So what's going on here? Creature take damage.
I'm the trash.
Hey, it's Oscar.
It was Oscar.
Man, Oscar. I wanted to talk to him about growing up watching Sesame Street. Did you ever watch Sesame Street, Rory?
I did, yeah. Yeah, and the Muppets and quite a few Jim Henson things as well.
Cool. Yeah, I was a big fan of the Muppets too.
Good stuff.
Okay, let's see. Going through all the keys. Then we're going to call take damage for that.
That looks disturbingly like an on-screen smile made out of yellow paint distributed by drones.
It's awesome. I'm so glad he chose yellow for it. It's totally like The Watchmen. I don't know if you're familiar with that comic book series at all.
I keep seeing references. I've never read it or watched any of the media related to it myself. It's one of those areas I've kind of bypassed somehow.
Here we go. The Watchmen smile. That's it right there.
Okay.
That's what you're looking at. It's like a smile with a splash of blood across it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it looks like that a little bit. I know at this point Sterling's thinking, well, do I get 100 fake robot personas to fill in the yellow everywhere? Or do I just do yellow here, and then maybe a splash of red up there? I'm not sure. Anyway, something to consider. Look at how he's got those. Look at how evenly spaced he's got his drones, man.
Yeah.
He's setting up for a meteor drop, I think. I also like how Surly Dev is like the Surly Dev drone is like kind of like always.
He's the conductor. He's the orchestrator from outside the actual event.
It looks like it's watching them. There you go. They're filling up. There they go. Something's going to happen.
It's kind of the squad commander sitting there giving instructions to his team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, no. They're going. They're moving. They're moving. They're moving. Something's going on. He says drop. Dropping more. He's getting a few more. All right. It's about to get real, kids. All right. Oh, no. Here we go.
Wow. It's the Harlem drone trotters. They're just all out to. Well, I'm not sure.
All right. This is awesome fun. Okay, let's try and focus on code.
Yes. What are we looking at?
I got take damage here, but I'm not. This is where my problem is, I think. Here's the amount of damage right in here, this space here. Hey, I'm trying to. No! Hey! That almost hit me! I don't want to. Jeez, stop! Come on, Coding Gorilla! What did Coding Gorilla say? What did I miss? Got to scroll back up.
I think he was just saying hi.
Oh, okay.
But that's cool. Hey, Coding Gorilla. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So here we got to kind of really decide, you know, how much real damage we get here for the creature, because we need the roll for the creature. So all throughout here, we're getting cards, stop rolling data. We're calculating value by individual type. Oh, we calculate damage by type. Let's go look at this. Yeah, we're just finding the damage die. That's all we're doing there. I think at this point, I need to go into ea.stop rolling data. What is it, individual rolls? Yeah, I kind of want to look in here. I got two. I got the damage. I don't have enough information coming back. I need to know what the die counted as, and I needed to know who owns it.
Yeah.
All right. So in individual rolls, is it a damage die? Is it a total roll? You know, score total. You know, like for a hit or something like, you know, 2-hit total roll, something like that, etc. Okay, so we need to go modify some code down below. Let's just run it. Let's go down below into TypeScript. Check it out, individual rolls. You know what I really kind of wish on this, Rory?
What's that?
I've been thinking it several times. I've been thinking I want to rewrite this whole thing starting all over again. Because when we started, when we started, I mean I don't, but when we started writing this, I was still grabbing, you know, conceptually all the D&D rules and trying to understand those in my head and all the needs I thought we would have. Now that I understand it better, I would have a oh wow, look at the alpha channel behind all the drones stacked up on top of each other. Yeah, now that I have it in my head, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I would totally make this way more consistent and simpler is what I would do. But I would make it so that you can throw a mixed roll down with everybody's die, you know, individual rolls. So let's go look at individual rolls and see what's going on with this. This should be coming back here, right there. So we need to get a better individual roll, which means we need more data. We got a damage type. Let's go look at this point we've got the die. The die has a lot of the data I think that we need. And we've only got this one constructor for it, I think, right? This is what I'm expecting. Sweet. Let's just start passing in the additional parameters we want. Die dot. The die counts as roll to its type. Roll type. There it is. Roll type is the die counts as property. Okay, cool. So we got the roll type, and the second piece was who owns it. What do I have here? Do I have an owner? Do I have a player ID? Is that it or not?
It's a tricky one because a dice being rolled is certainly associated with the person who rolled it, but the purpose might be to affect somebody other than that.
Right. I just don't know if it's real or not. I'm looking for assignments to it. I don't know if it's real and reliable because we're sometimes working with NPCs, which were a new thing that we introduced, and the player IDs for those are all negative. Here we go, player ID. There's the assignments. I think it's going to be reliable because it's coming in through here.
I think it's possibly we just had we were calling it player ID, but we've since moved on to creature ID. And for this purpose, as long as we're still assigning that value, that would be consistent still, right?
Yeah, except for here's the thing. I that's what I thought. Except for look at the initialization. The initialization goes to a -1.
Oh,
which I don't like at all.
No.
Let's see where we're calling.
It feels like it's intended as a default, a null kind of replacement, and obviously -1 is one of our legit values now, assuming creatures rather than players.
Right. Although here, look, I'm passing it in as player ID, creature ID here, which is the most important one. Add dice from DTO. So there's two ways of rolling dice: the old original way that we created, and the new way, which is to use these DTOs, these dice DTO data objects down, which is kind of the better architecture. The better architecture, which is always going to be used with all the new stuff that we're doing, passes the creature ID. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to change this default value to a number.min value.
Okay. I'd be curious if there's any way to find existing calls that don't pass, that explicitly pass a -1 there because you want to pass something that follows it.
Yeah, that might be tough. We could search for -1. Whoops, like that. Whoops, sorry, that whole word. See if we find it. Edge rolls. Remove multiple player edge rolls. Oh, interesting. This looks like I need a constant in here locally. I'm going to call this not found. Give it -1. Do that. And do that.
It's starting to feel as if -1 is kind of a code smell, unless it's being used as a kind of an off-by-1 adjuster.
No, I think you're right. And
that kind of
so
thing.
I'm trying to fix it, right? Check it out. They're throwing these around. Edge roll value. Move D20s. Yeah, let's go back to where we were. This looks like it's more global. Let's change this to who's here? Nice. Screwtrap's here.
Hey, Screwtrap.
How you doing, buddy? And let's do this. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm addressing the code smell. Is what I'm doing. Okay. So let's do
Sure.
this. That's what I'm doing. I'm responding to the code smell. Edge roll not found. What? We're not in the dice roller. Are we in the die roller? Is that what we're called? What's our? Yep, that's what it is. Okay.
So now I'm curious what looks in player edge rolls and potentially responds to a -1.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that was unexpected. I hit undo up here thinking it was going to undo my change. Okay, so this I'm going to say edge roll value is equal to edge roll not found. Let's keep going for that -1. That's going to be it too. A lot of -1s on the edge roll value. Look at that. Yeah, I'm totally like, yeah, it's code smell. But I like the changes we're making. So
Yes.
player ID for text messages.
Ooh.
That doesn't look good. That looks concerning. I'm going to drop a marker here and we'll come back and look at this in a second. Also, this file is kind of big, so we might find a lot of these in here. There's another one.
As a default value.
I want to change that one too. I'm going to keep going. Player ID -1. Yeah. That's an actual -1.
That's legit. We'll allow that.
Yeah, this is the one of the ones we want to change. I want to create a constant for no player ID. You know what I mean? Like not you know, unspecified player ID. So anything with player ID, we're gonna go fix that. Need to roll add-on dice. That's an actual +1 right there, or -1. D20 roll value. Have we circled all the way back? I think we have. So we're back up to the top. Okay. D20 roll value. I'm not going to touch that. We are going to create a new piece up here. We're going to call this no invalid ID. Invalid creature ID. Instead of it being -1, it's going to be number dot min value.
That feels better, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah. Holy cow. I'm already thinking, oh my gosh. All right, player ID for text messages. Yeah, I'm feeling this already. Let me just double check where this is going. It's going in this call here.
Does a roll results?
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. That one's good. That one needs to change. That one needs to change. That one needs to change. That one's good. Back around to the top again.
It's interesting because we've seen a lot of places there where you've done a replacement for, as you say, a default value, but you'd expect to be able to go inside, well, maybe several levels deep, and find code written to say, if player ID equals -1, don't do something.
Right.
And we've seen very few of those. As if it wasn't being, either it's not being assigned the -1 because we're most of the time giving that value over, or alternatively, I guess it just doesn't come up much in reality.
We haven't seen the full scope yet. We've only looked through this file. But notice on this line, I've got a call to dicelayer.showRoll_modifier. And I'm passing in the player ID for text messages here. So we could see it inside here, the -1 check is what we could do. Player ID, look at that. We want to change that as well. Valid creature ID. Set text color to player. Do the same thing. There's your check right there, Rory.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do the search. Continue the search for -1 up and through here. Those are all real. That one's real. Although that one, the last one we were at, we could actually change this. This is the starting frame.
Okay.
We could create a similar constant for this one. Let me just drop a marker here. Let's continue our search through this, and we'll do this in a bit. Player ID. We'll change it here. What does the program do?
Wow, there's a question. It's a good question. Mark has another channel in which he and a bunch of his friends play some live D&D. And in that live D&D that's broadcast, we want to make things move as quick as possible. So we built ourselves an engine that understands the rules of the D&D, that understands dice rolls, makes the dice rolls for you, figures out what kinds of dice rolls, all kinds of stuff. We've also got a whole bunch of things that appear on screen to sort of augment the experience of watching it. Mark describes this quite validly, I think, as trying to do the ESPN of Dungeons and Dragons. So you've got real dice, we've got some monsters on screen, we've got cards that get played, all this kind of stuff. And this code that you see here basically runs everything. Everything from the dice to the engine that interprets some specialist scripting code that we wrote into Google Sheets that actually to affect characters. All manner of stuff.
Like if I take damage, it looks like this. Oh,
yeah.
Oh man. Oh, I just lost 12 hit points. Hopefully I'll get some of that back soon. Here we go.
And it means that the system keeps track of the character cards that you'd normally be, furiously pencil and paper correcting sort of hit points and stuff like that. And it allows the thing to flow just so much better.
I'm trying to get a fireball up for Coding Gorilla. Is that not working? What's FB? I forget what FB does. What's FB? Can I do an FB? Fireball! Oh, it was you, Rory. It was test FB. All right.
Wasn't me.
Oh, it was Coding Gorilla. You're right. Sorry. Coding Gorilla's got the same colors you. And if I look at it very quickly. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. We're doing special effects, ESPN of Dungeons and Dragons is what we're trying to create here.
And I think it's fair to say that this project has exploded in so many different directions over literally the last few years that it's kind of hard to list it all in one.
Yeah, we need to create
messing
something
around with a graphic system, but suddenly there was a particle physics in there and all sorts of stuff.
I put there's the channel right over there, Comedy Dungeons and Dragons. That's what we're doing.
Should be noted that it is a slightly not suitable for a younger population, not safe for work, one might say, as compared with this channel where we try to be entirely safe for everybody that we can.
That's right. We try to be safe for everyone. Okay. This -1, I'm using this as a, it's a code smell. I'm with you. I'm at a point now where I've decided it's a code smell. It always felt good to me up until like today. So it didn't smell it before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even there I'm using -1 for the angle as well. So basically, I use this kind of idea of -1 to say, well, it's invalid, so let's create let's figure it out. Let's create a random version of it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Here's player ID -1. There's another one down here. Up there.
It's tricky because every time somebody comes along and says, aha, we'll use this special value to represent, I don't know, a bad situation that we weren't expecting, and then we can just try detecting that fact. Someone else comes along and says, no, there's a good reason to use that. I remember a long time ago, somebody was describing to me how the definition of a null in a database wasn't quite the same as was used elsewhere. The way this person would have me believe it, certainly, was null effectively represented unknown. And that was why you weren't capable of saying if null equals null, because they were both unknown values, and it should return false. simply because you couldn't know they were the same. You had to presume they were different. That was it. For example, two people would have phone numbers, but since you didn't know them and you hadn't recorded them in the database, their theory was they both represented the unknown state and therefore were not equivalent.
So if I had a time travel machine, I'd travel back in time to this conversation, and you be in the conversation, it would seem normal. And then I would just tackle the guy from the side, just coming in from the side, just like that, just out the window. I'd pull a parachute on the way down. We'd both be okay. But you'd be like, what the heck? Why'd you bring a parachute to the second story, Mark? And I'm just in case. That's what I did. It's going to look like that, I think.
Cool.
So I got these. I'm left with these new -1s right here. And I think what I want to do is I want to follow this and be a good guy. That's kind of what I wanted to do.
I'm wondering how far we should take this. It might be worthy just to make a note of new places we discover where -1 is present and need fixing in the future. If only for the reason that if we go and try and tackle all of them, that's a lot of code that we could be breaking in one hit. And it'd be nice to be able to run this occasionally and prove we haven't broken anything yet.
Right. Well, the only thing I've changed is that -1 initializer for the player to I've changed it only in that direction. Right now what I'm doing is I'm still going to keep this to be -1. But
so the value will stay, but the readability of the code will indicate it's not magic, it's not -1 for random reason, it's for this constant named correctly expressing good things reason.
Yeah, so it's going to be like
That's
sprites
cool.
that start a random frame, and then now we'll go back over the dice layer, and I'm only going to change this file right here.
Okay.
So that's the starting frame index. Yeah.
That's cool.
Random frame. So there's that. And should I do a search and replace? Dare I try? Got to be super careful. You worried?
Well, the trouble is that people say search and replace, and you think it's replace all, but actually you're intending to go step by step through and just go yes, no, yes, yes, no, which is a lot safer.
That's what I'm doing.
Quicker. It's the nice middle ground between safe and fast.
Definitely no for that one. No, 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 no. No, no. Yes to here. Here, and here. And here, and there, and there. And there, and there. And there. And there. And there. And there. And there, and there, and there. Working our way down. Yeah, it's better code. And it makes me feel better about it, which is good. Like my confidence level on the, on whatever this code, which is tough because this code is actually some of the first code we wrote.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go back. I just want to double check where we were here. Yep, that's what I want to do. I want to replace there. Skip that, skip that, skip, 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 skip. Angle, that's its own new constant. Definitely replace there. Trailing effect, start index. The index, yep, that's the starting frame index.
That's the one being tested, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the one that we want to say replace there as well, because if start at random, then sure enough, random equation.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because
I mean, to a certain extent, -1 is still a safe value here because the index of a list of frames will never have a legit -1 in it.
Yeah, no, I just did it. I said yes, replace it, but that block of code is kind of meaningless compared to what I know happens below. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'll make the change, but that we didn't need the code there. It looks like we've gone full circle now.
Cool.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, so let's save all that.
The code is better than it was.
Code is better than it was. Let's go back to individual roles. That's what we were working on. We're trying to work our way back here. Get over to, we're working to dice roller here. Where are the individual roles? I'm not seeing them here. Oh wait, probably just jump back a little bit more. Player ID for text messages. We kind of were doing that. Role results. Where are my individual roles? I guess I'm just going to search for it. There they are. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so now the player ID is now, I'm going to change this to the creature ID, is what I'm going to do. And let's go make sure, let's go see, because of this, there may be some JSON implications to the rename. I'm noticing a perf issue here. Hold on a second. Let me jump in with Code Rush. Perf issue there. That kids, take a look at the log files. A little perf issue there on the rename. I'm in die roller, which is not so big, I think. How big is die roller? It's only 4,000 lines of code. Anyway, I was doing a rename, typed it in. Didn't see anything coming up off the edge there. So let me hit enter on the rename. Let's go report the perf issue. Which issue rename in TypeScript. Devs can look at the log files. Maybe we'll learn something about that. Maybe it's all Visual Studio. Maybe there's something with Code Rush in there. If there is, we can go after it and find it. Okay. Only
so you mentioned there might be a
lines.
There might be a JSON kind of an issue there. So we need to look at the type of die and see is there a corresponding class in TypeScript's DTOs? Right. Is that right?
Yeah,
or sorry, I suppose it would be C#, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just to make sure we rename that one as well if there is.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is. Let's maybe instead do this. Let's tap the next reference on this. Look for any assignments on it, because I don't think. Yeah, it's just player ID all the way around. I don't think there's any JSON going on here with this class. This class is actually an interface. It's right up here, and the interface is simply used so that we can attach our own custom properties to the 3D elements in the world, and get TypeScript to be cool with it. So that's what's going on with that. Okay. So creature ID is there. I might do this though. I don't know how you feel about this. I might go for places where we have things like this, and I might rename to that. I don't know. You might be thinking, Mark, we're changing too much. Let's go back.
With the exception of the JSON possibility, I quite like renames because renames are typically fairly reliable in making sure it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
And as long as that's the case, the improvement you make in the one location is an improvement for everywhere, and you're just, it's much better than it appears on screen.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so now we're going with the, we're going to add role type and the creature ID now to the individual role. So this is where we're going to deal with some issues here. So this one's going to be public, role, maybe I'm going to call this die counts as, and that's of type die counts as. And the next piece was an int, or this was going to be our creature ID, and that's a number. We only had one constructor, and it's right there. Okay, now I've got individual role, and I've added these two pieces to it. We already tapped the next reference here. Let's go back up into the C# world and look for individual role. There it is. We're going to shut this down. I'm going to kill that app. And we are going to add these two pieces here. Okay, That's better. Individual role. I think that may be the only change we need to get that data back in there.
What sort of code do we use on the C# side to create individual roles? Didn't seem to have a constructor.
We don't.
Or anything like that.
No, we don't. They're only for data getting back from the TypeScript. It's only for
so for a change that's generated in
Yeah.
the client and sent back to the C#.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So, okay. So let's get this running and let's refresh our dice overlay. I think that's the only thing we're going to need to refresh because we touched. Yeah, I think it's the only thing we need to refresh. We also touched sprites.ts. We created, we changed that around a little bit. Since we're restarting, I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and do kind of a refresh of the others as well. Yeah, Coding Grill. It's only 4,000 lines of code. I'm trying.
Easy.
I want CodeRush to be able to handle files that are like 20,000 lines of code without performance issues. But right now we seem to be getting some performance issues with about 10,000 lines of code. So that's kind of where I'm going for.
Should I be concerned that there was no puff of smoke just then when we got rid of the scroll?
No, because it's doing the lazy
It may not
load.
have loaded.
It's doing the lazy load of the
okay.
imagery. So you can come in and try now. I bet it works. There you go.
Cool.
Okay, got my breakpoint. Let's go deal the card out. From the die roll, so I've got a saving throw here. Ooh, a 1 on the saving throw. That means double damage. All right, so here we go. Where's our individual roll here? Oh, not doing anything with it yet. Now I want to go in and I want to see that extra data. Creature ID, that's not good, but it is for the acid, so maybe we're okay. That's really bad. This creature ID here is not cool. That's got to be better.
Well, I mean, that's the min value, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
the non-valid player in theory.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be the valid player. So let's run
Of course,
it.
that's the other advantage to our little enhancement there, is that it's much more obvious when that's wrong. A -1 didn't look so out of place before.
True.
And now this huge negative number is kind of obvious.
Yes. So now we got to figure this out. Let's go, what is it? Dice DTO. Add dice from DTO. Create die. Creature ID is coming in here. And that is the creature ID in create die. Let's go look at create die. Set it there, but it's passed in. And then we set that to die.creatureID. Are we setting this anywhere else? What's this? Add D20. Will I be calling add D20 from...
Oh, many places.
Yeah, but I was just wondering from the DTO place. Let me go back to the DTO. Now I can generate DTO, create die. So let's see here. Dice from DTO. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not sure why it's not working. Is it possible I'm not passing that in? Wait, let's look one more time here. No, we're definitely passing in dice.dto.creatureID. Is it possible I'm not sending it down? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I was careful about that, but let's go look at that. That's going to be in card commands, roll dice. Roll viewer dice. Let's just look for dice DTO in here.
Didn't we have code somewhere in there that said if the player ID used to be -1, that we would redirect and use this .player ID? In other words, if we don't explicitly send it, we have a default to fall back on. Now that value, that indicator value, has now changed to min value, but the behavior could still be the same, meaning that we expected there were places that did not explicitly set the player ID.
Yeah, but I checked that down below. I checked for.
Okay.
I checked it, and the key point where it's most interesting is in this call right here, add dice from DTO. And in there, our call to create die, we explicitly pass in the creature ID. So yes, I considered that, but I ruled it out as a possibility because I know that the create die that's the most important call that we're using is this one coming from here. Okay. Yeah, Cody Gorilla noticed, are you directly setting it to min value there? I think it's related here to this issue, but I just want to see. Dice DTO, we need, it looks like we're not setting it, is what it looks like we're not doing. That's what it looks like to me. Create roll, add dice string, process details, process die details. Check to see if it's a saving throw. If it's a saving throw, we override the die player name and come back with the creature name. Target creature ID. That makes sense because you saw,
interesting.
which is different from min value, which would just which would overflow in int32. Okay. Thanks, Cody Gorilla. Yeah, I was suspecting that's what we might have been looking at as well when I saw the number, because I recognized it, and I was wondering when I recognized it, am I recognizing it because it's a C# min value, which is what I'm thinking it might be. So yeah, it looks like we're not setting it correctly. I think I'm gonna have to kill this. I need to add yet one more ref parameter here, and I know Rory's like, code smell, Mark, code smell. I got a code smell, Mark. Mark, it's a code smell. And I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, Rory, but I'm just still doing it anyway. This is going to be int. I'm making code smells, Rory. So this is going to be the target, the die owner override. That's what I'm going to call this. And so now
You need a wonderful code rush refactoring that will convert a bunch of ref values to return value object.
Yeah, something that goes from there to what we're talking about. We used to have one that was create object, where I could select all of these and choose create, introduce object or something like that. It was kind of weighty and heavy. It's like, I feel like, here's the thing. Yeah, I recognize there's a code smell here, but I also find that there's kind of, that if I do the introduce parameter object, if I do that, that I still end up with kind of this weird code smell, and that I have this single case class dedicated strictly for the method call almost, right? That just combines all the pieces I need.
But it means that when you add a new item to that list, you're modifying an object definition, and you don't have to modify all the call sites.
No,
although you
true.
might choose to modify the code
right.
around them in order to use that value.
No, you're right. It's just that I guess I'm not as satisfied as I want to be. In other words, often when I have this situation, there's a deeper reflection of a lack of kind of organization, maybe, of a lack of thought that says, okay, what are the real pieces? In other words, really, what this should be is 3 parameters. It should be 1, 2, 3, like this maybe, right? Or maybe 4. These refs should be all part of one, like the return value, right? That might be the way of doing this.
So, I mean, there are several ways of improving, should we say, and it's hard to know that there's a rule that says there's definitely this is how it should happen all the time.
Yeah. Now, if we're at a point of doing a saving throw, then at this point, the die owner override is clearly this. Now, the problem here, kids, is that somebody, I'm not going to say any names, didn't design an architecture, create an architecture to support multiple targets, Mark. I've only got this one target character ID here. So I gotta fix this. I'm gonna put these together, closely together here, so when I come back in and I do fix multiple targets, that I'll somehow be able to fix this and probably fix this as well. There'll be a list of die owner. I don't know what's gonna happen on it. But anyway, let's go continue passing this up. There's this, there's one more call above this. Pass that in there, and we're gonna do that, into this, into that. And then now we're going to come in here and say die owner override is equal to int.min value. That's what I'm saying for now. I know you're thinking, Rory, you're thinking, Mark, haven't we learned anything about what we just did? Dude, don't you want to step away from this, Mark? No, I don't. I'm just going to run, Rory. Because I'm running with scissors. That should be the name of the show. Mark runs with scissors. So I'm not using them as out params, coding gorilla. I'm using them as ref params because I'm setting some default values up above and then checking to see if, as we learn more about this, what's going on, do we want to modify any of these? Yes, okay, I get it. It should be one parameter we pass in. Maybe that's what we'll do next, Rory, before you leave, because you're going to be thinking about this, aren't you? Like all night. Your family's going to be like,
possible.
Rory/Dad, what's wrong? What's wrong? Your mind seems somewhere else. And you'll be like, there's trouble. There's trouble in Costa Rica, is what you're going to say. All right, let's refresh the pieces down below, because I think we got to do that. 1, 2. Oops, not that one. What did I just do? I just dragged the dice layer down below. Hold on a second. Let's move that back up. And then that one needs to be refreshed. Seems like there's something else I need to do. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I wanted a hard refresh on the dice. Let's do that one again. Okay, so there's the dice now. Let's do the test. Yeah, no ability. Even this one, look here. It says target 2 creatures that they're within 5 feet of each other. So, yeah, I know. You're like, like you're scolding me, like, you know.
Well,
like I should have known.
There's a lot to keep track of. I don't think it's necessarily fair to say you should have kept, you should have known this. Deep in the bowels, maybe. What we got?
What we got, oh, you can talk. I'm just saying creature ID is 2, die counts as total score. That's what we're looking for. Okay?
That's good.
So the target creature, that's me. My creature ID is, well, it depends on, this is another architectural problem here that we've got. Also, part of the problem is like this whole thing we're talking about is basically designed 3 days a week, part-time. So we're like, so it's not going to be perfect code, guys. It's going to be some code smells in here.
It's still good. I mean, I think it's more good than bad.
We need to find out what the end result was on this die roll, right? We have the individual roll right here. It's the, what was it? Yeah, it's this one right here. And that was a 14. And there's the value is the 14. My modifier, where's my modifier? Individual rolls or whatever, the value. So the die value is equal to that. I know it's not going to be a 1, but it's like die value is equal to that. I'm just putting this out here for now, so I kind of got gathering my thoughts together on this. I'm not going to let this stand. that'll definitely break us. The other thing I want to go into is the die roll, EA, stop rolling data, dot, where's my modifier? I think I still don't have enough. I don't have enough. Okay, hold on. We got to run. We got to come back down. I'm missing the modifier. I need the modifier to make this work. The modifier tells me what's added to the value of the die. And the modifier is coming from... Just create dice. Modifier passed in here. It's not exposition modifier. That was passed in to create die. Nope, it's set later. Okay, so the die modifier is set there. Let's go back to individual rolls. Throw one more in there. That's going to be the modifier. We need the modifier to come back. The modifier is coming back. That means we need to come back over here and get to, where were we? Individual roll. And we're going to throw in the modifier. We need that back. The cool thing, though, about what we're doing, Rory, is we're getting, you know, we're really starting to understand what we need in terms of the communication back and forth in order to make all of this work. That's what I love about this, right? So we're going to get the modifier back, the value, all of this. Okay. So
the nice part is that we've already got the actual communication pipeline set up. It already goes from C# to TypeScript and back again where necessary.
Yeah.
And we've got the objects named in that transaction. So all we have to do is to make sure we augment the objects with the new information, the fields and so forth that we need, and that will just continue to work, carrying that information back and forth.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it is good. Yes, so I just refreshed down below the die roller. I'm starting up the D&D app right now. And then finally, we'll have the pieces we need to now figure out. What's interesting is there's calculations going on in C#, because in C# we need to know, is it a critical success, critical failure, a success, or a failure?
Yes.
That's what we need to know. We're going to have to essentially rewrite that up in this space as well. Let's figure this out. Also, yeah, I got to write this down as well. We have a problem with support advantage and disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a potential problem as well, right? If you've got advantage on your saving throws, you know, we're going to need to investigate that. So yeah, I've got the support for multiple targets, support advantage, disadvantage. Those are some challenges there. I'll put those in red. Impost excludes the modifier. We're kind of working on fixing this. And we're working on fixing this right here. Need to apply the damage accordingly. So we're looking for this. These are homegrown rules. If you roll a nat 1 on a saving throw for damage, you double the damage up. If you roll a nat 20, you get 0. That's not if you just say if you get a 20 by adding your modifiers, you get 0. No, that's just a normal save. But these right here can have serious impact on the results of that. And then if you do save, it's half damage. So, okay. All right, so we're ready to do the test, I think. Are we? It looks like maybe we are. Let's do the test, see if we get a breakpoint. See if we get our data. Rolled an 8, and with 2 damage. Okay, so here we go. Individual rolls. Total score 2. Modifier is a 2. I'm sorry. The creature ID is a 2. The modifier is a 2, and the value is an 8. So we know the die counts as that. What does die count as over here? Die counts as damage. Sweet. So I love that that's coming there. There's no associated creature with it. I'm okay with that because I don't care or need that for this. And we see the value is a 2. So also don't really care about that because at this point, damage of key should give me whatever the total damage is, which I guess is just 2. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to find my target creature. Do I have? I don't think I have. I've got an index. That doesn't. The fact that it's a 3 doesn't make sense to me. What type is target creature? Target creature is just creature. What is index? That should be a 2 based on what I believe it is. Well, look, it's not even something I can access. All right, I'm going to kill it.
Okay.
You're so accommodating, Rory. I'm killing everything. I'm shutting it down. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I've got a slight architectural problem here.
Okay.
I've got creature.
Yep.
I've got some derived types, character and monster.
Yes.
NPCs are monster. Characters are characters. Characters have got a property in called, I think, player ID. What's this index? Oh, index is the index into all the players in the list. That's super interesting.
Yes.
Is that used anywhere?
That helps you work out left to right, doesn't it?
It's not used anywhere. Well, it could be. Yeah, when we send it down, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That could be used down below in JSON. That could be a JSON thing. So I'm not going to rename that or change it now. What I want, though, there's, I think, in here, like a player ID. Right there. Okay?
Yes.
In Monster, there's something else.
Oh.
Because, they had different needs. In Monster, I think it's called Index. Is it? Maybe not. Yeah, I'm already. Wait, current project. I want to do.
Kind of hoping it's creature ID.
Yeah, I was hoping that too, or monster ID.
But even then, we have 2 different values for the same basic purpose, except that the reason they probably exist is because we save these back to Google Sheets, and they each have their individual primary key columns, don't they? As part of that column saving exercise.
Yeah. So it's part of that. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to do that only in the file. I can do all those types. No ID. Is it index? Yeah, it doesn't have either of these, actually, now that I'm remembering. The monster doesn't have it, and the reason why is the monster isn't part of the game. It's something called an in-game creature. Let's go back to solution scope. In-game creature wraps and holds on to a creature and has an index.
Oh, so creature is like the class, whereas in-game creature is the instance of the class.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit. An in-game creature has the things we need to add to it for the game to work. There are pieces we've added that are not part of the monster definition, specifically, the monster NPC definition. So that's kind of what's going on.
So we might have the sort of starting health in one of these, but the actual current health in the other.
That's an example of if I had done it right, what I would have done.
Okay.
I didn't quite do it quite like that, I think, as I recall. But the answer is yes, essentially, to that. So what that means then is I don't have a universal way of getting the index from a creature. Is the problem? I don't.
Okay.
I can do it a couple ways. I can essentially
Have you got an all monsters or an all creatures, which you can search for the one you've awesome data that you've got.
No, I do. I could write something up above. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, is there a different or better way to do it? But it's kind of, I'm kind of doing this right here. I'm going into, I'm saying get creature by ID right here. And what this does is it checks to say calls here or here, right? So it's essentially what you're talking about, right? Using that ID that we're passing in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do have that. At this point, I guess my target character ID is really the ID I want to be searching for. It's kind of like, you know, and again, we've got this, you know, this should become a to-do up here, right? So we've got the same problem here.
Yeah.
Let me go, let's just look at this. Maybe we solve this problem now. What's going on with its usage here? That makes more sense. Looks like Fred has found a hard time breathing. Yeah, should we clear that up? I don't know, I kind of like it. We'll keep it for right now. All right, so here's what's happening. We're parsing the card's target as it comes back. The target is what I specify here. So let's say I were to say Merkin and Fred, like this. I want to be able to support something like that, for example, or a syntax of Merkin comma Fred, or Merkin whatever, or Merkin and Fred. I want to be able to support all of those. Okay?
Yep.
You know, maybe I'll just say comma separated. So English is crazy. Hey, Frank. Welcome. So I want to do something like that. So it's coming in here, calling get creature ID. Target character ID. I want to just see where it's used. Get creature by ID, target character ID. Well, my to-do right there is talking about somebody's in trouble. I'm not going to say who that guy is that messed it up, but somebody didn't think about it until now. What do we got here? Trigger card played event if necessary. Target character ID. Look at this. Boom. We got that thing going on here. And then we say trigger card played event. I'm just imagining instead of an int, a list of ints here. Target creature. Cast. We call do on the expression, and the string expression is card played. Oh, this is the card played
We
event
wrote this just
code.
the other day, yeah.
Yeah, that's the card played event code. So the question is now, do I do it for every single target? And I think the answer is yes. So the answer is yes, because I'm doing this, and then I'm doing the do on that, like that. Or maybe I create a list of targets in there, and I have this code work on all the targets, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I think they can. The target does specify a list. So that's okay. We can fix that. Okay, let's go back out. Let's keep going. So that one we can modify. This one we can certainly modify. What's going on here? Player IDs, target character ID. This is just in the same spot, so we can handle that. And we've gone a full round trip. Okay, so let's do it. Jeez. Okay, so we have one problem though. Hold on, we haven't done a full search. This is card DTO. Card DTO exists also in TypeScript, which means there's a JSON connection between the two.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's take a look at that. See how much trouble we're in. Target character ID. Aha, not used down here. Okay, I'm going to kill this. We're not going to put anything on there for there. And now I'm free to make changes up here. Coding Roller says, I'll always Actually, been watching a lot of British TV shows lately, and another of the various forms of toss or insults. It's pretty great. What is he talking about?
That's a family show.
But
Not entirely sure we can detail that.
Really? But isn't it just if I do that, it's just like I'm tossing something, right?
Yeah, that's totally right. Absolutely.
Like
We'll go with that.
In the States, when you throw something up, it's like called, like tossing your biscuits or something, I think. I don't know.
The Scottish toss cabers
Capers? Yeah.
at
All right.
certain kinds of sporting and social events.
All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to target character IDs. Let's rename it. And it's going to be a list of ints. Like that. Now, we're going to say get creature IDs here, which is going to be something slightly different. It's going to be a method that returns a list. Whoops! A method that returns a list of ints, like that, and the creature IDs, target name like this, and I think what I want to do is this. I'm trying to just weigh the difference between. This is looking cool, Surly, by the way. I love it.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Right, considering what's going on.
You got to consider how this is being achieved, don't you?
It's remarkable.
And, yeah.
It's really remarkable. It's like, I'm loving it. It's like a halftime show.
Yeah.
Right? It's totally awesome. I'm trying to weigh the difference between, the benefits and cost between telling the person, specifically separate, two creatures, separated, or being able to handle that and that, but also, lady, or even this.
So you kind of need a list of delimiters.
Yeah. The problem is
should be allowed.
Yeah. The problem is that at first I was saying, well, let's just take the spaces, take every space, let's take the spaces and get rid of them. If there's a comma, every comma space is going to go to a comma, and every space left over, so it goes like that, and every space left over will get its own comma. I'm going to ignore the word and if it's lowercase, and then I'll just deal with them. So that's one idea.
You could have a sequence of strings rather than characters, each of which will be replaced with a comma, which you iterate through, and comma space and is one of them. And then by the end of that, you'll have no spaces next to commas and only commas in place of all of those delimiters, and you can just split on the comma.
Yeah, there's just one problem that I have. This is like also could be the name of the show.
Yes.
And that is that this word here, and, is a little tricky to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be in isolation. It can't be tacked on the end of something or on the start of something.
Right, and the reason why is because we have a lady Taranya, and we also have a lady Mikkel, right? We have these two, right?
Sure.
And so if I were to, what that means is the full name includes the space, which means and could be part of somebody's last name.
So what I'm suggesting is that and will only ever come between a first and a second item and should always have a space either side of it. So you would replace the phrase space and space with a comma.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thus it shouldn't be part of any actual name. That way you'll leave the spaces that are part of people's names and just have the need that the comma.
Yeah. So we just have to make sure that our dungeon master doesn't create a character named like, Mark Anderson and Mark.
Yeah.
And
So So some kind of
Hanson,
split
like
personality character wherein there's two voices in this one person's head. So we represent them with a combination of names.
Yeah, because it's like if I have these two characters, Mark Anderson and Mark Other, right? In order to represent them, it would be legal to just do that, to get Mark Anderson. So I think what we have to do is just make sure there's no last name starting with AND. And if we did that, then we can do your trick, which I like.
I'd forgotten about your partials idea. Yeah, that's a good point.
So we're going to say Merkin, and we're going to do that. We're going to say Merkin and Fred, and we're going to say, and we're going to do your idea where we say, if we see this, we're going to replace that with a comma. Right?
All right. Yep.
All right. Let's do that. All right. So let's do that. So we're going to say, okay, let's get the target name, and we're going to say, I don't know, conditioned string is equal to target name dot replace, and we're going to look for space, and I think I'm going to do a whole lowercase on this thing first of all. I think I'm going to lowercase the whole thing because I don't think case is going to count. Too lower. Okay, then we're going to say condition string is equal to condition string dot replace, and with comma.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. Don't worry if you're worried. Hey, what about this, Mark? What if I do that? Right? I'm going to do a last one that's going to look like this. My last condition string piece is going to look for a double comma and replace it with a single comma. Okay. Yep. So we're going to do that. We're going to look at I think
we
ampersand.
need the ampersand. Yeah. And does that not also have spaces around it in a similar fashion?
It's never going to be in a name, so I think we're okay.
Okay, fair enough.
That's kind of what I'm saying. We're going to replace semicolons with commas. And what about dots as well? Sure, why not? And then we're going to come in and we're going to get to there, and then we're going to say...
So we're going to get a series of names, which is that remaining value split on a comma. We will have to trim each of the values that we get out of it.
Yeah. So now we're going to split it on the comma. I think this is going to be good. What about names like Mr. Fred? Okay. Who said? Is that Coding Gorilla out there? I can't ever, there's never been a time where I've been like, you're wrong, Coding Gorilla. You're wrong, and you never should have said that. You never should have brought that up in my show. It's never been a time. So now,
however far away your comeuppance is, it feels like Coding Gorillas is further away.
Much further away. I don't even see his comeuppance. It's nowhere nearby. Mine is like I can feel it breathing on my neck right now. So now we've got our names right here. Maybe I can do like this for each name in names. Call get creature ID and add it into my list, which I don't have yet. Let's go create that list. There's a code-rich template called RI for result instance, like this. Create a new one of these. I wish it would go all the way and create the new, but we had some problems getting the new to, it's hard to get it to be intelligent. There's my add, and then we're going to do that.
We want to trim the name before we pass it into the get creature ID.
Let's do it here.
It could have leftover spaces, which will cause us to not find in the existing list of players or creatures.
Yeah. Let's create a trimmed name, set that equal to this, and use it there, use it there, use it there.
Cool.
And trim it, actually. That would be nice.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I like doing this. Instead of conditioning before I pass in, I like conditioning once I get in, because I just know it's going to work a little bit better.
Well, it saves you doing it at all the call sites that you're potentially using. Is nice.
I feel like that's better. Okay, now what we're looking for here is... Is there an any on this thing? Can I just do it that without any? Like that? Okay. So has target means there's been something that we found. Okay? All right,
Yep.
cool. Target character IDs. Keep going. What are we doing here with our target creature? We're getting the back color. Override. That's for the saving throw. And now this is becoming a massive problem because we're actually going to need to create multiple. When I say massive problem, we can't. It's not sustainable anymore. We have to.
Yeah.
This is because these overrides are going to be for each die. Prepare for saving throw. This roll. Hold on though. Wait. We're going to pass. It is sustainable if I actually pass in the individual piece. Where's this card detail used? It's used here. Okay, we're going to change this to target ID. I know you're like, gosh darn it, Mark, we were so close. Your comeuppance is right there. So we're going to do this and here. This. Maybe rename these to...
So we're going to specifically make this method apply to only a single target per time it's called. But we're going to call it multiple times.
Yeah, because it's a die roll. It's an individual die roll. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
The die rolls themselves will be different for each of the targets doing a saving throw.
Yeah. By the way, this is my... Surly Dev just give the command drone army on. The problem here, kids, is that somebody didn't create an architecture to support multiple targets. That's my favorite to do I've ever deleted in my life. Okay, so at this point, prepare for saving throws here. Now we got to grab the right one. And again, process die details are the same thing here. Target ID, or owner ID is what we call this, owner ID. We're going to use that owner ID. Pass it in here. Look at that. That's beautiful that it's not being used here. Same thing. Okay, die owner ID is being passed in. Add die string. Kind of need to know. What's going on with card DTI? We need the GUID down here. This is where we go through the list. So I'll show you what is triggering it. It's the roll die command here. Let me copy that. Let me open up a notepad so you can see this a little more carefully. Why am I?
You appear to be surrounded by a very threatening set of drones with ammunition.
Think of that. All I got is like a
what were they about to do?
SWAT command here. It's not working. SWAT command's not working. All right. So here's what's coming in here. It's a roll die call, passing in. The first pair is this, and the second pair is this. Okay? So it's the name, or I'm sorry, not the name, the die, like what we're rolling, what the type is, and then some label that goes with it. And here I've got a 1d20 save for dexterity. At this point, the saving throw is associated with the target. This is not. I need a way to know that the second part needs to be called once for each target. I'm thinking I do one of two things. I either look for the word save, because save by implication means it's got to be it's a saving throw for the target.
Yes.
I look for save, or I look for the string. No, that's not going to work, because by this time the word target will be gone. So I have to really look for the word save here. That's what I need to do. So save is going to be my trigger that's going to tell me what you know, what I need to do. So this is for how many parameters. So right in here, it's the dister. So it goes like this. If dister.contains save colon like this, then we're in special case land. And then we're going to do a for each of some stuff, and then otherwise we're going to go, you know, we're going to go do this other thing here, which is that. So in our special case land, we need a for each in here. I love this that he's totally exploiting the lack of limits changing on these, right? To get this kind of flashing kind of thing going on. Oh, Copper's Beard, look at you. I'm just gonna. Oh, it's too bad, Copper's Beard. I messed up everything. Oh, look, it's code by mistakes. Oh, it's not close enough. Come down here, code by mistakes. Come down.
Nothing will happen. It's totally safe down there.
Yeah, that's so funny. All right, so we need to go find all of those. It's in the card DTO, I think. So in card DTO.target character IDs, I want to do a for each in here, target character ID. And then I want to call it like that. And I want to pass in the target character ID probably at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And have it be kind of an optional parameter kind of thing. And let's jump in here. Equal to, I'm going to call min value. So there's my target character ID. And then now in process die details, it goes like that. That will get us the overrides we need. Add the DTOs. I think that might work. I think it might work.
Okay.
And
that seems plausible.
Let's see what else we got. I love it when we get to this point where we're like, okay, that was just a couple lines of code, and I think it might work. Okay, trigger card played event. This is where we need to trigger it multiple times.
Yes.
What's going on here? That's a return. So what I need to do is I need to extract this. And we're going to call it trigger card played event. If necessary, for target. And then I'm going to come in here and we're going to do for each here.
Yes.
Look at this, Rory.
Even the correct variable chosen.
Yeah, it's cleaning up way easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, here we go. Viewer die roll complete. What's happening here? Viewer, let's trace this back. I want to see how this data is acquired. Because maybe it's acquired, remember I commented out here? Maybe it's acquired by just sending it down and not used, but then sending it back up in the DTO. Maybe. So let's go find out how we get here and filled in that value. Using CodeRush's tab to next reference here to work my way back. Looks like it's triggered from roll is complete. Okay, my stop rolling data card in waiting. That is the card DTO. The card in waiting is kept and stored from above. So we're, I think, good. That's not coming. So what's happening is I'm getting it from save cards for viewer rolls right here. So that's what's going on there. So I think we're good with that. I wrote this line of code like about a week ago, Rory, where we're like, well, we got to save the card. This is before now we even went down this crazy freaking path to make all this work. Okay, so back out. That means then we might have multiple target creatures. Let's look at the code here. What are we going to do? For each one, we got to do this. We need the ID there. We got.
I mean, is this
call,
just a matter of doing the same thing as you did before? So extract out the piece that definitely targets 1,
kind of,
and then either call it multiple times or call it once, depending on the number in there.
Yes, the problem is these pieces right here, these 2 lines of code right here, or 3 lines, whatever. Those update calls are weighty calls. I don't want to call them for each target. What I want to do instead is have extract a method that then tells me what was changed, right?
Yeah.
Was it a player or was it an NPC? And so what I want to do is I want to create a new enum here. I kind of want to call it what changed. What target changed, like that. And we're going to say a player. I'm going to make it a flag kind of thing. Or an NPC. NPC monster. Which is going to be equal to 2.
You know, it's just occurred to me, I think we've given Surly all the tools he needs to completely game the coin system.
Don't finish that sentence. Don't say it. All right, what target changed? And then now I want, so my method that we're going to extract this to is going to return a what target changed. That's what it's going to do. So what we need to do now is we need to create this variable called target ID. I'm really excited. If this works, I'm going to be like, that's not bad. And we'll do this, a little exchange. We'll do that. We'll do this. And we'll do this. Okay. And then I'm going to take this whole thing and extract that. And we're going to call it like apply damage. Can I get an extract method going in here, guys? There it is. Just took a while to come up. We're going to call this apply viewer damage. Viewer damage. Viewer roll damage. Like that. And then now what I want to do, let me throw in one more up here. A none up here. Equal to 0. And maybe I want to pass this in instead of returning it. I think is what I want to do. I want to say do that, I think. I want to say this one is equal to none. And I want to ref. I usually don't use refs at all. You've seen me with methods several times today. But normally I'm not that guy. Just because I think they're harder to use. They added greater weight to... to greater burden okay, so good. Now I want to take these bits here and grab them, take them out, and now I want to say what target changed. It's or equals. Now we're at player. And give me a second, I'm going to come back down to this, but now I want to come down here and do if what target changed is equal to player, then we're going to, there it is right there. Otherwise, where do I get player from? Oh, no. It's the target creature. Oh no. Passing player data changed. I think I have a more sophisticated problem here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's undo. undo, 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 undo. There. All right. Okay. We're going to do that. I'm going to keep going with this. I think we're going to see problems. I think scrolls might appear once or twice. Boom, boom. If we have multiple targets, we'll have to adjust and solve for that later, I think.
I'm not familiar with the or equals syntax. Is that effectively flipping the bit represented by player on an enumeration, allowing it to be both player and creature?
Yeah, it should be or equals, just setting just that one bit.
Okay.
And so what that means is if I do it several times, it's a logical or, so it's not going to clear itself a second time, or it's not going to change it if it's already been set.
So it's flipping it on specifically.
Yeah, because I've got the different values here that are essentially incrementing by 2 each time, 0, 1, and 2. I've got enough bits to store both. That's
cool. Okay.
So that's kind of what I was doing. And then I wanted to, I was going to pass it in as a ref. But now I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. Do I really almost only need a Boolean? Because I'm not going to do anything here. There's nothing really there I can do that I know of. Yeah. I feel in the future, like not too distant future, Surly's going to be promoting his show, which is his drone show.
The drone show, which just happens to feature on the Code Rush channel.
Yeah. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this, but it's because I've got these other architectural problems where things are not as clean, that are kind of leading to me having to kind of do this.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, let's come up here. Let's go through the targets. Almost done here. Okay. And is that my last one? Wait, I need to do one more thing. I need to take out update in-game creatures here, because I definitely don't want to be calling that multiple times. And I want to come down here and I want to say, hey, look, if, what target change? Do I have a has flag? Yeah. If it's got an NPC monster, then we want to update in-game creatures. So definitely want a breakpoint here. I want to stop by that, see what's happening there. What else? Are we good? Are we good? Have we gone full circle?
I think so.
All right, let's run it. We need to refresh down below. I'm going to refresh the die layer for sure. Come back over here. Go to test. We're going to answer Merkin. And press. Exclamation mark. Maybe not exclamation mark. Oh. Rory's got to go. You just want to see this. All right, let's do it like this. Let's play it.
I do.
I think I got to be able to strip out exclamation marks at the end.
What's the meaning behind the exclamation? You were hoping to put one in there, but I'm not sure what your goal was in doing so.
I'm simulating a user who's excited about targeting someone.
Okay.
Cool. You got 2.
What about the user who's incredibly frustrated and was just face planted into the keyboard?
Nice. We got a save. Nice. We got a fail and a save right there by the die. So that's awesome. Okay. That part's cool. Okay, cool. What's going on here? This is viewer die roll complete. We're going to go through all the target IDs and apply the damage. Oh, okay, cool. So we should see damage being applied here. Take damage. Oh, this we still need. Okay, now this is the whole reason we wrote this is so we could get here and do something with the target ID, right, and the individual roles to see if they succeeded or failed. I'm gonna just keep running it and watch it, and we're gonna come back and fix that.
Okay.
And we saw the die piece come in here too as well. Let me split up the breakpoint here. So we have 2 of those coming in. Yeah, see, it hits twice. It looks like and feels for this. Let me clear the breakpoint and see if we get 2 slams. We're looking for 2 slams of that scroll when this comes in, and if it is, we're definitely gonna have to figure something out. Merkin and Fred, play card. Uh-oh. Oh, breakpoint. Clear that one. All right. Merkin and Fred save. That's not good. We want to change those individually, don't we?
Yeah.
We want to change those individually. And I want to clear this breakpoint. All right, one more time. I want to watch the whole thing.
Yep.
Merkin and Fred. One more time. Here we go. Okay. That should say Merkin save. That one should say Fred save.
There's Fred.
Okay, the double slam didn't seem like it was that big of a deal.
No.
I'm okay with that. I just wanted to see if that was an issue or not. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out the. Let's see what we can do over here. So. There's the target, but I'm using the target here for the label. And what I think I might want to do instead is not use these here and instead kind of pass in a string that's going to be replaced with like if I pass in target underscore name like that, target underscore name might be a special replace piece. Let's save that, and then let's go to that's going to be in the die roll when we send it down. Card command roll die, roll viewer dice, get new viewer roll. There's the DQ, there's the dice roll, create roll. Look at there, man. Okay, so now the label is, I think, right in this space here. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to trigger it again. Did I save that? Save, test, Merkin and Fred, play card. All right, what do I got for my die label? Acid splash, no worries. Now what do I have? Target name saved. So now what I want to do is maybe do this dot replace, and we're going to say target name, oops, with the target name, which is, I want the first name. Do I have a D&D utils.getFirstName? I hope I do.
Yeah, you do. Look at that.
That's what I want. And what does it take? It better take a string. Does it take a string? Yes, it does. Sweet. And I'm hoping that this has a special case. Right now it's, oh, it doesn't. I want to add a special case to this. And I know we should do this. I know code smell. But basically what I want is if name is equal to Lil, the little cutie, I don't want Lil to be her first name. And we really need to be, we're going to say cutie. I know. It's a code smell.
Well, you know, it's a good exception for exceptional case.
I'm gonna say
Which, if we had a pattern to follow for other things, then we would implement a pattern detection of sorts. But it's a little bit unique.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. I think I can run now. Okay, so now Merkin's coming in here. It's doing the space index. I don't trust that's going to work. We don't have a little cutie on here yet, so we're not going to get to that other. Yes, I'm not even going to do this. We're just going to trust it's going to work. Okay, what do we have now for the labels? Better. Merkin saves. Fred saved. Fred saves. Merkin saves. Okay, good. Nice. Now let's try it without any breakpoints and just watch it. Disable all breakpoints. One more time. This time we're going to get cutie, little cutie, Lil, and Merkin, and Fred. Here's what I'm thinking, Rory. I'm thinking somebody's going to be like, yeah, like that.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. And I just want to be able to support that scenario like that. I think I have all the breakpoints cleared. That was over in this space. I want to support that.
Okay.
Boom. Okay. Lower. Let's also trim this. Getting trailing spaces out of there. I think a lot of people will just type in Lil. Oh, you're right. I forgot about that too. That's where this UI comes for here, to be able to say always map this answer to the selected target and basically train it to map Lil to cutie.
Right. Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm
kind of adding aliases as you go.
Yeah. So we're going to say trim end. Isn't there a trim end in here? There it is. Trim end. And we're going to get rid of, should we get rid of all punctuation?
Well, the trick now is that if you, well, okay, as long as you're getting rid of it from the end, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do this, I think is what I'm going to do. Why not? Should the plus, is it from the end as well? I think I'll do the pluses too. Look how easy it is to add these using selection, duplicate selection. Just keep going like this. Okay, I'll do that for now. And so now our condition string is going to go to there. Okay, cool. And should I also get rid of the apostrophes? I don't know. All right, so do we have one for cutie? Oh, it says Lil save. Why did it say Lil save? That should have, the get first name should have saved us on there.
Yeah.
Maybe it was lowercase coming in. It's lowercase coming in. That's the problem. Try that one more time.
That's true. We're lowercasing everything, splitting it up, and then doing a get. And since you're comparing with a non-lowercase in there,
yeah,
that won't match. Sorry, I've just noticed what the time is. I'm afraid I have to go, my friend.
Okay.
But I'll be back Tuesday, is the plan.
All right, we'll see you on Tuesday, my friend. Thanks so much.
Okay, bud. Have a great weekend. We'll
right.
see you then.
We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, multiple targets. Watch it one more time. Here we go. Merkin, and Fred. Play the card. Critical save, and just a regular save. I think it looks good. Now let's figure out the last part of this. Thanks, Coding Gorilla. Appreciate that. The last part of this is here. Here's where we have to figure out how much damage they actually get applied to them based on the roll. Also, I need to, here's the other thing that's tricky about this one. This one's a little tricky in that nothing's stopping me at this point from saying, you know, in Qt like this, I only get 2? No, I got 3. 3 die out, even though it's limited to only 2. So I need to build something in there. Now I should be at that breakpoint at this point. Okay, cool. So now we've got a target ID coming in here. That 2 is for my character Merkin. We've got a target creature as well. And we have now these individual rolls. And we're gonna, I think when we want something like this. Damage for player. Equals get damage, get saving throw damage. And I pass in the individual rolls and the target ID, like that. And then, oh, and I also pass in this damage. That's what I need. And then damage per player is what we're going to pass in down here. Oh, it looks like it's a double. We get a double. Yeah, the hero's gone. But we have Coding Gorilla and Pudding. Drone Army is here as well to keep us safe. All right, let's clear this. We need to go through the individual rolls, find everything that is a die count as. If individual roll dot die count as total score and individual roll dot creature ID is equal to target ID, then at this point we can make some sort of decision on this. There should only be one that comes in here. This is the damage die total. This is the, maybe just we call this creature ID. And let's just return a 0 for now. Because we're really only expecting, you know, I'm just trying to think, are we going to have more than one die that counts as the score? In general, this almost never happens. But sometimes you can throw out an inspiration die as well that'll add to your score. So the answer is yeah, sometimes we'll get it. So we're going to actually need to total up the score for all the die rolls that are in here. So let's do this. Total score equal to 0. Then here we're going to say total score plus equals individual roll dot value. Good. All right. Then we want to do this. Oh, and then somewhere in here there's a modifier though, right? Modifier. If individual role, all these modifiers should be exactly the same, but I'm basically going to do this. If it's greater than modifier, then I'm going to say modifier is equal to individual role. We can only have one modifier. We're not going to sum them up, but I'm going to take the biggest one that we've got. So they should all be the same in a normal die roll. Anyway, okay. Now at this point, then we're going to get down here with some values. Let's run it and see what we get. Okay. So now total score is 20. The modifier is 2. We need a we need 2 more booleans up here. Got nat 20. Got nat 1. And we just need to set these down here. We need to say, hey, look, if individual role dot value equals 20 and individual role dot, I guess, num size is also equal to 20, but you know, let's just do this instead. Let's come up here and say, hey, look, individual role, the size is there. Size is 20. Then we're going to check to say, hey, if the individual role is equal to 20, we're going to set got nat 20 equal to true. And down here, we're going to say, hey, look, if it's equal to 1, then we got a nat 1 is equal to true. Let's set these both to false up here. Well, look at that. You're getting there. Surly, doing the Watchmen smile up there. Let's come back up here. If we get, these should both be in braces, and I think to some degree, if we're at this point, we're going to, we're just going to say we got this, we're going to return 0. Like that. And if we get here, I think I'm just going to say, instead of returning 0, I'm going to say return damage die total times 2. I also feel like I need to explain this, be able to explain this to someone in text, what's going on, which means I think I need another piece of data coming back out from here, which is what's the result? Did we fail? Did we not? I'm going to stop the program a second. We need another enum here, saving, throw, a result. And we get a complete failure. We have failure. We have a save and complete success, or nat 20, complete success. Like that. That's our saving throw result. I want that coming out, and also I need to also pass in the threshold as well. Let's get this one right here. Saving throw result. Add another parameter in here. hidden threshold. Here's my hidden threshold right there. Okay, so now let's set my saving throw result in here. What's wrong with this? Why is it fail or success? Huh. Delete this. Okay. That's funny. I had another one already in there. Let's try again. Okay. So at this point, complete success is the answer here. Here, the saving throw result is a complete failure. All right, so if we get any, it's got to be a 20-sided die, but if it's a 20-sided die and we get a 1 on it, and its total score counts for this creature, then we flat out are complete failure, or we have complete success, depending on which one we get. Otherwise, we continue to calculate the total score, and then down here, we want to check to see, hey, look, if total score plus the modifier is greater than or equal to the hidden threshold, then we have a save. So we're going to say saving throw result is equal to saving throw result dot save. And then we're going to return damage die total divided by 2. And actually there's a D&D. I think I've got a round down here. No. I thought there was a round down. Do I have something? I really feel like I've got something called round down.
Janiska 7, where are you? We need your help.
Janiska 7? 7 is here, kids.
Here, I am.
I forget the D&D rules for rounding down. I think it's to D&D round down. Round down if you end up in a fraction. So we want to kind of do a math.floor. Math.floor of damage die total divided by 2. Come on. Put my finger in the right place. That's math floor. What's my problem here? Okay, how's that? Damage die total. What's that coming in? That's an int coming in. Okay, so now I'm thinking we don't need these anymore because we're just exiting straight out. Okay, so total score plus modifier is there, then we get to there. Otherwise, we're going to return it's a fail, and we're going to return all of the damage die total, the whole damage to it. Failure. Return damage die total. Okay, run. Nice, Surly. The Watchman. Looks good. I like the responsiveness when they move. I just think, you know, it really, for this to look really cool, Surly, I think we need to really figure out how to get the movement right, where we rapidly accelerate and decelerate as we approach. So we just shoot it in the right direction. As we realize we're going to overshoot it, we start hitting the brakes by turning the drone the other direction. Right? It's all a matter of just determining and calculating the thrust. So, all right. So let's set a couple breakpoints in here, the different results that we can end up with, and see what we get. So we'll come back out. We're going to refresh this. We're going to trigger it again with Merkin and Fred, and maybe Cutie, like that. Play the card. There's my 3 saving throw dice out there. Got a 19, 19, and a 7. But we should have different modifiers for those folks. Let's clear that breakpoint and run. All right, so we got a save here. Who is this coming here? That's me. Mine's the 19. Okay, so I got a 19 with the save, so I'm going to take that damage die total, 5 divided by 2, and return that. So we're going to return a 2. Sweet. It's only 2 damage. Ah, it took away 5. Something's not happening right on the outside. Get saving throw damage. Damage for player. It's here. The problem is here. I think it took the right amount. Is that right? Total damage. Ah, total damage is added right up here. Taking that away. Say goodbye to you. Yeah. Taking away that for you. We're going to do this. We'll do that right there. That should fix this. Okay, run. What's my problem? Nothing is my problem. All right, let's kill it and restart it. I think we're close. And it feels like it's lunchtime. All right, let's try it. Should see 4 D20s come out now. 14, 15, 17, everybody saved, I think, on that. So here we go. Now, does this mean, by the way, I'm just thinking about that D&D rule, rounding down, even if the fraction is 1/2 or greater. So great. You tell me if I roll a 1 on the die. Just loading up here. What's going on with my internet connection? It took a long time. Round down. Where are you? Right down here. Yeah, so I'm thinking if I roll a 1, that turns into a 0 according to this rule. I think that's what it is. I think there's really no other interpretation of that. D&D, because they would have said round down even if I roll a 1. Half the damage of 1 would be 0. Okay, so we're good there. That's going to get us. That's going to get us a 0 there in that case. So I'm okay with this. That's good here. Total score is 18. That's the 18 on the purple die right there. That's for me. There's the hidden threshold was a 12. Okay, we got that one. Everybody's. You know what? Let's do this. Let's give everybody health again. All players. All right, we'll do it one more time. Back out from here. Merkin, and Fred, Lady, and Q. Okay, so what do we got? Cutie may save depending on her modifier. She saves. Got a fail. So only Fred failed. So Fred's damage. That's probably Fred right there. Returning that right there. Creature ID is 4. So yeah, Fred. I saw 5 go up to Fred. And everybody else had 2 taken away that was hit. Nice. That's working. We're just looking for, let's see if we can do it again. Let me see if I can trigger a 1 or a nat 1 or a nat 20 in there to make sure those are all working. Then we got a nat 20 for Cutie. There we go. Complete success. So Cutie should have nothing taken out. She's got 46 points. Everybody else has got what? Fred has got a success. Merkin. Everybody else has got a success. So Cutie gets nothing. Everybody else is going to get half of 1, which is 0. Nothing should change. Okay. That one works. One more time. Trying to get a 1. A nat 1 for double damage. I should probably also go in and get everybody health here. We got the nat. Oh, somebody got nat 1. Who's the one with the nat 1? Which looks like Little Cutie. So Little Cutie should get 12 taken away. Is that right? Sure, only 6. Or maybe no. I think I misread it. I misread the result of that. I think. I wasn't looking at the die on that. Okay. We got a 1. Was what I wanted. All right. So let's look at the damage die. Total is 6. So we're looking to return 12 from that. So now Lady's got it. She should take 12 damage. Which takes her down to 54. There we go. Cool. That's working. The last thing we need to do is explain what's going on based on the saving throw result right here. Possible I might have 2 different damage types, which means I would get, for each player, I would get 2 different saving throw results, but they would be the same result even though I have multiple damage types. What I need, I think, is a dictionary of player IDs and saving throw results. So let's do that. Let's create a new dictionary of indexed by player IDs and have it be of saving throw results. We're going to call this saving throw results, like this. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to say, after we get that, we're going to say, hey, if does not contain the key, because once we add it, it's going to be the same every time we go back in and do it. But so saving throw result, if it does not contain the key of the target ID, then we're going to add it. Saving throw results.add target ID, comma, saving throw result. That should be lowercase right there. Okay. Let's set a breakpoint here. Well, actually, we got to set it there so that we can get this line of code to compile. All right, let's do it again. Larkin and Fred. Play the card. Okay, both successful. And now let's get down to here. All right, good. We're going to do that. Then after we're done, or do I really need this? I think I was thinking we were iterating through all the targets here, but we're not. We're just passing in that target. So I think all we really need, it doesn't need to be this complicated. We really need something more like this. Showed saving throw results for player. Set that equal to false. And then down here, we're going to say, if not, we haven't shown them, then we're going to show them. And the showing of them is going to look like tell all, and it's going to be what's my player name? With the target creature. Oh yeah, cool. It's being pulled from right there. So I should be able to go into target creature, get the name in there. Let's get the first name here. So it's going to be something like this, some mix of these things based on the saving throw results. So I'll take that in here, do a switch statement right here on those pieces. And so for the save, saves and takes yeah. I could say takes regular damage. Yeah, saves. And takes half damage. I think I like this because it's without actually specifying what it is. I'm just going to do that. Oops, that one is for this. Kills. It takes full damage. So just kind of give us some sort of feedback in terms of what's going on there. What did we... All right, see how we're doing now. So one more time, without any breakpoints. Here we go. That makes it critically in the fail. Let me see that. Oh yeah. All right, let's fix that. Looking lady, Sandra, little cutie, and Fred. Send them all. Thanks for that, Coding Gorilla. Appreciate that. Thanks for running. Let's give everybody full health. Do it again. Fred doesn't say it, so Fred's gonna fail. Is the dice gonna settle? Is the dice gonna settle? There we go. Everybody's saves took half damage. Fred took full. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Let's do it again. Fred's gonna fail again. Looks like Lady's failing. Yeah. Nice. I like that we can handle this complexity. The other thing that's cool about this is these die rolls are built. They're designed to happen independently of the other die rolls. So I can be, doing some sort of, something that has nothing to do with this, like that kind of a roll there. Meanwhile, send this one out here, right? Because it's a player.
141 fire damage.
The last one. No, I see what you're saying. You're right. There's this extra one coming in here. Yeah. There's potential here to group by similar saving result to reduce the amount of text in the chat room. For example, Fred and Merkin both fail critically. Both critically fail. Maybe Fred, Lady, and Merkin all critically fail. Something like that. A natural language sentence. So instead of just, kind of spamming with one for each piece here, you kind of clean that up. I kind of would like to go there. The other thing is, where's that other tell-all coming from? Apply viewer roll damage. Save in-game creatures. The last one is dexterity saving throw success. That's coming. It's easy, just invert your dictionary. I don't know what that means, invert my dictionary. I think I got rid of my dictionary. But I think I need to add the dictionary, then go through the keys, see how many elements I've got. And I think it needs to be a dictionary of lists of player IDs, player names, creature names. That's what I think it needs to be. But there's this other dexterity, saving throws, success. Let's go see if we can find the word success in here. Get success string. Saving throw. That will get us here. Report on die roll. Yeah, so the report on die roll is happening independently, and it's not caring what dice group it's from. And I think what I really want to do is this, is I want to only report on the die roll if it's this, like that. We're not at a breakpoint, so we're going to get to one. I think this is going to take care of that problem. Double damage over there, complete failure. Nice, nice. Okay, and then I just want to add that line of code there. If it's equal to players report on the die roll, then we're good. To do, rename this to, just to differentiate it from the viewer die rolls, to report on player die roll. Okay. Okay. Do we do the dictionary? I think we do the dictionary. The last thing we do is we do that dictionary and we'll clean that up, and then that'll be kind of beautiful. And we'll say, hey, we had a day where we created something beautiful today. Let's see. Look who's coming in. It's Jetsam. How you doing, Jetsam? Do that dictionary. Yeah, I just realized though it is. I gotta pass the dictionary out. Apply viewer roll damage. I gotta kind of pass it in and out. I think we're gonna need to stop the app. Let's close the scroll before I close it down. All right, let's stop the app a second. We need to throw that dictionary in, I think. I kind of need this. I need this outside of here. I need something like this. We're gonna get back and make that work. We need a dictionary of what? Indexed by saving throw results, a dictionary that's of a list of target creatures. Or it could be target creature first names, list of strings. All right, new dictionary indexed by saving throw results of, I'm just gonna say object here for right now. This is the one thing where I can't actually chain things out in CodeRush. I can't actually chain it out to a further list of things. So we're going to say this is a list of strings, I think. So these will be the first names. Nope. Okay. Call this results. Let's add the new parameter right here. It's the bottom right down over here. I didn't quite see where that was scrolled to. All right, results is there, going in, and now we're going to say, if we've not yet done it, so we still need it one time, we're going to come in and do it. Now we need to say, hey, if results.contains key, or if it does not, rather, if it does not contain key of the saving throw result, then we're going to add it. And we're going to throw in a new list of string inside of there. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to say results of saving throw result dot add. And we're going to add in the player's first name, right, which is the code we had outside of it. Media utils get first name creature.name. And that's how we're going to collect them. Okay, so there's the collection. I think we're good there. Then we've got our results at the end. I'm going to iterate through all the keys that we've got inside of there. And then I want to phrase. Up in the saving throw result. Why does it always suggest this one? Why isn't it giving me that one? Right? Yes. Then we're going to use this. And we need well, I've already got something called plural function. Yeah, it's kind of what I want to do there, but that's all I'm just going to do get plural, and we're going to pass in the count, which I don't have yet, and then two different versions of something to choose from, either the word fails or fail. That. So count is one. If count is one, it's going to be fails, and if it's not one, it's going to be fail. And we're going to say count. It's always fails though. Mark fails, Mark and then fail. No, if it's two people, it's fail. Pretty sure. I'll look at that in a second. Count. All right. So there's my count there. Get plural. So hold on, let's see. If it's one person, Mark critically fails. If it's two people, Mark and Fred critically fail and take double damage. We got to do the same thing over there with plural. Mark fails. Merkin fails, right? But if it's Merkin and Fred, it's fail. We change the verb to fail. So we need get plural over here for takes as well. It's getting a little crazy, but takes or take, like that. Get plural, let's declare that. Okay, you won. You win this one. All right, I'll take it. I'll take a win. Oh, I've already got to get plural. All right, I'm going to change it to just plural. What's going on? Why can't I change it? Oh, it thinks I'm asking where. Oh, I see what's happening. Hold on. It was the target picker. It's the overload. It's grading. Okay. So here we go. With count is equal to 1, and return stir 1. Otherwise, return stir 2. So this will be singular. And we'll call the stir 2 be plural. Okay, so get plural, done. And maybe I am going to rename it to just plural here for a second. What's going on here? Why did the caret jump over in this space? Okay, but in this case, you actually want the inverse of that. I'm sure I'm right this time. I'm not so sure about that. Let me see what I got here. No. Something is wrong here. Let me report a code error issue. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong. Something doesn't quite look right here. Roll back, devs, about a minute and watch kind of what happens coming in here when I start getting this look on my face, like what's happening. The caret kind of moves around a bit. I'm trying to backtrack to see where I was in the code. I just hit escape to pick this up. This thing is happening. Yeah, look here. The caret, it thinks it's here. Also notice right in here, I've got like two, like a system marker Let's lost it a little bit. Where are they? There, right there. I've got a system marker, and I've got a transient marker, and I've got, you know, what looks like a bunch of things got collapsed. In other words, I suspect there's something in the log. When I hit escape, here, let's jump out of the zoom view. When I hit escape, it restores it here. But as soon as I move my caret, by the way, there's my position right over there, I think, right? Is that right? Wait, no, hold on, it's not quite there. This, what's that line? That line is the, I'm not sure if that says the active line or what. But when I hit escape, it gets me, it moves me down. It's now down over near the bottom. And when I move the up or down arrow key, it moves me right back up to this space. So it's like something very weird is going on here. If I hit enter, also look, the transient markers, they don't go away. They're still there, right? When I'm changing the line, transient markers should totally go away. So something really strange has happened. It feels like there's kind of a corruption of at least our understanding, or maybe Visual Studio's understanding of the code. So with that, let me just close that issue reporting right there. Possible data corruption behind the scenes data corruption. Take a look at that, guys. See what you can find. Pop that over there. All right, Coding Gorilla says, I'm sure you're right this time. Let's go find plural. Oh, here it is right here. So if count is 1, it'll say there'll be one person in the list that says Mark critically fails. We're going to use this first one, right? If that's singular. And takes double damage. If it's 2, it'll say Mark and Fred critically fail and take double damage. I can do one more thing too. Both, all, none of count. Both, all. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to declare this one too. And we're going to say, hey, look, if count is equal to 2, then we're going to return both. If count is greater than 2, then we're going to return all. And otherwise, we're going to return string.empty. So now it's going to say Mark and Fred critically fail and both take, oh, and it's got to put a space at the end of them. And both take double damage. Sweet, sweet. Okay, fine. Let's go down here. Get this one. This one's now going to be this. Simply fail and take full damage. This one just becomes full damage. And no word critically here. Okay, good. Let's take this one and copy it down here. And now we've got critically. Saves, save, and both or all take or take, and 0 damage. Sweet. That one's awesome. Yeah, I like this approach better. It's more work, but it is. I don't want to do that one. I think I want to do this one right here. Or is it a save? It's a save. So I need this plural is save in there. And both are all take or take. This becomes half damage. There it is, half damage. Okay, now we just got to get that list based on what we're getting, what's being passed in here. Okay. If the count is equal to 1, then we're going to simply return that first entry, like that. If count is equal to 2, then we're going to return like that. If, I suppose if count is 0, we should never get there. Something like that. You should never ever get there. Never expecting to get there. Okay, next, at this point, I can't think of the smartest way to do this, like using link or something like that, because I need a different separator at the very last one. So I think I'm just going to do a for loop on this, and it's going to look like this. I'm going to go to count -1, and we're going to create a list. And we're going to say list plus equals names of I plus a comma and a space. And then at the very end of that, we're going to say list plus equals names of names.count -1. And we also want to have like an and here. So we've got our Oxford comma showing up right there. And then we want to return the list. I think that's it. I feel like we're done with that. What you got, Tony? Take names, count -1. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That saves me the first one. There you go, Coding Gorilla. All right, so this now becomes something more like this right here. Nice, I really like that. Okay, and I'm sure Coding Gorilla, we'll follow Coding Gorilla's suggestion. It was better than what I was doing. I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then he does it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, right? And return kids code tomorrow. Yeah, we're doing kids code tomorrow. That is correct. We will be doing that. We're working on modeling the universe. By the way, last time, I don't know, I think you were there, we got the planets to spin proportionally based on their actual days. And it was so cool. Hope Mom allows it. Yeah, it was so cool to see the planets rotating relative to each other, the relative speed. Really, really cool. Yeah, it might have been Friday or Saturday we did that. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm going to just set a breakpoint here. Maybe set a breakpoint here. I'm going to go into it. Let's run it. See if it's working. The problem with this, although this works really well for English, this doesn't work. This sucks for translation. It just doesn't work for translation at all, right? It's something else entirely is required for translation to make this work. So, you know, if translation is a consideration with your code, this is not something that you want it to be a model for you. Okay, back over here. Merkin, and Merkin, maybe Merkin, Lady, Cutie, Fred, Sandra. I should copy that to clipboard. All right, so now we're looking for grouping of saves. So you should see 3 or 4 messages come out. We've got 2 saves, I think, and 2 fails. No, 3 saves, 2 fails. But 1 critical fail there. So there's going to be 3 messages, I think. All right, so here we go. Okay, cool, 3. Uh-oh. All right, let's fix that. Come back up here. One more time. Now, there it is right there. Why did we not get the last one? Oh, we lost our Oxford comma. Sorry about that. Thanks for closing that down. We just don't have one at the very end here. So, yeah, I guess I'll be okay with it. No, I won't. I'm going to add the comma there. All right, one more time. That's what we're going to do. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's just step through a little bit more. Just Lady comes back that time. And what does our text look like? Oh, Sandra also saved. I didn't see that. She must have had a plus on hers, like a +5 or something on her dexterity. Is that true? Her dexterity is a -1. She should have failed if I'm remembering her die roll correctly. Let's try it again. Merkin. Lady, Cutie, Sandra, Merkin, and Fred. All right, play them. All right, let's do this. Just put a little bit out there so we can clear from one from the other. We've got 2 different results that are out there. What do we have? We got a fail and a we got Lady's save and everybody else's fail, it looks like. All right, what do we get? Lady and Cutie save. Cutie's die. Where's Cutie? Oh, it's over there. Lady and Cutie save. I'm with you 100%. Let's just run it. And the other one, Merkin and Fred fail. And all take full damage. It's much better. It's much better than just a whole bunch of stuff streaming by. That's great. I'm going to just throw one final kind of to-do in here. Incorporate this consolidation logic into normal saving throws for multiple people. So that's like the final to do over there. Coding Gorilla, thanks so much for helping us out. Let's get a raid going here. Get out of here. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us, helping us figure things out, writing some code. And send you over to Bald Bearded Builder. Start that raid going. This has been happening recently. I don't know what's going on with Twitch, but it says 0 viewers are ready to raid. Based on what I'm seeing in the chat room, I'm seeing way more than 0. Anyway, something went wrong. Try running that quick action again. Later, try it again.
Error, and then I'll have to put in my key.
Right. Let's try one more time. Have a good day, everybody. See you, Pudding.